aloha, and welcome to the Flow Riders. I am your community manager here at Ecamm, Doc Rock, along with my awesome co-host,
Katie Fawkes.
What's happening, Katie Fawkes?
I'm having a great day. It's very spooky weather here in New England. It's like foggy and like a little bit creepy looking out. I'm digging it.
I was going to say, you guys have probably some of the most awesome decorations in that space.
Oh yeah.
So it lends really well to things like, cold, spooky weather right before the thing starts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not cold out yet, which is kind of fantastic. It's like warm, but dark and creepy. if that makes any sense to anyone.
Yeah. That's what they used to call me. Anyway, let's get this show started. Katie, what are we talking about today?
We're going to be talking all about YouTube podcasts and talking through what it is and why you need to care and why YouTube is doing podcasts and everything in between. So hopefully this will help kind of enlighten folks and answer some of the questions that people have been having as they see this start to hit the internet a little bit more here.
It's funny. There's a lot of, let's say, things moving around in the air talking about YouTube and YouTube podcasts, and It has definitely thrown some people off their game. But I'm here to tell you, it's not as bad as you think, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to dove all the way in. So first of all, I wanted to give a couple of quick announcements. Gang, we just hit that episode 12, just got released earlier today, and we're gaining some great momentum. As you know, we passed 1,000 episodes in the very beginning of last week. I'm not 1,000 episodes.
1,000 downloads.
Now we are up into close to 1,300, and a lot of that comes from you guys. First of all, thank you, Flow Riders, for being part of the show. You guys are in the building. I'm sorry, Michelle's comment just popped right up in my face, right when we started talking about what's up to the Flow Riders. So I love seeing that. You guys are here. We appreciate you. Also want to remind that folks listening on the audio version, you can send in your questions for the Flow either through our Volley, or you can send us an email at flow@ecamm.com. The Volley situation is ecamm.tv/flow volley. That's ecamm with 2 M's .tv/ that's pause FLOWVOLLEY. And Volley is very, very simple. There's a button to press record. You say your question and then you press it again to send it. It's super simple. It won't take you long to learn it. Actually, I think you learn it in about 2 minutes.
It's literally the same functionality as on your phone recording a video. So if you can push a button, you can do it.
Yeah. It's a button. Some people say button. I love when people say button because the button one cracks me up. I'm like, okay. It's an O at the end.
This is one of those triggering moments where I'm like, oh no, how do I say this? I always feel like I say the things wrong compared to everyone else.
Well, I mean, you have an excuse because you have a northern United States accent, just like we're Southern Canada, but it's going away. So over the last 2.5 years of listening to you almost every day, it's slowly becoming more and more angry. So that means you're becoming American.
Woohoo!
All right, gang, let's dive into this episode. What are we talking about today, Kate?
We're talking about YouTube podcasts. We're talking about what it is and why people should care and all of the other questions that fall underneath that topic. All things YouTube podcasts.
Let's dive into the first question. What you got?
All right. Our first question is, what is it? What are YouTube podcasts?
Wow. All right. So
we're keeping it really high level with these questions, guys.
No. It is actually a good question. And I'll cover this answer in 2 spots, right? I'll cover it in what is a podcast first, and then I'll cover it in what is a YouTube podcast. They're the same. Let's get this twisted, right? They're exactly the same. What causes people to say one is one and one is not the other is the difference between a regular podcast and a YouTube podcast is just where you're going to download it from. Or, interact with it, watch it or listening to it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If you're going to listen or watch on Apple TV, Apple Podcasts, that's one thing. Apple Podcasts has actually recently got rid of their video side So you're really not, you can still get it there, but you're not going to necessarily watch it directly through Apple Podcasts. It will pull to your phone, and when you, never mind, let me not complicate it. It still works. Okay. So, you can do video, you can watch video podcasts on Spotify. You can watch video podcasts in Google Play. You know where people watch videos, Katie? YouTube.
YouTube.
Right. Even Facebook has tried really, really hard to get Facebook Watch popping. I still say most people watch their videos on YouTube. It's a thing, is what we've always known.
Yep.
It's like you go to Goodyear to buy tires. You do not go to Goodyear to buy hot dogs. It's just not a thing. Nobody does it. So YouTube is already in the mindset of seeing video. Okay. And that's a key factor in this. So us old school OG curmudgeon type folks, to us, a podcast requires an RSS feed. An RSS feed is real simple syndication, and that just states that when I press a button on Captivate to upload that audio file, places at one time. The more new conversation is, if people are showing up every week to watch content, say somewhere between 10 minutes to like an hour and a half, that's what we consider long form, and they grab it every week, that's a podcast. So YouTube is like, let me amplify that. Let me allow the people who are doing weekly shows on our platform to start to use the same verbiage as everyone else. And so that's where we get YouTube podcasts.
I was thinking while you were saying this, that is an important point for everyone to keep in mind, is that one thing that has made YouTube different from Facebook, for example, or from, I think maybe you can correct me, any of the other social platforms that allow live video or video playing, is that on YouTube, you can be watching a video on your phone. Okay. So I'm watching it on my phone, and then I get into my car, for example. I can minimize that video on my phone. It's now plugged into my car, and the audio from that is just going to come through my car or through my phone, even if the video is minimized. So it does not stop playing my video just because I have minimized or closed, quote unquote, YouTube. Whereas if I was to do the same thing, whether it's on a desktop or phone or whatever, on any of those other platforms, they're like, oh, you're not watching anymore. And so they stop the video, right? So YouTube has always kind of had this thought in their ecosystem of, you might be on the move. Doc watches YouTube on his TV while he's cooking or doing other things, and he's walking in and out of the room. It's still playing. I might have it on my phone while, I'm out for a walk and it's in my pocket and I'm listening to it through my headphones. And then I get into my house and I cast it from my phone onto my TV. That experience is going to go all the way through. It might go audio, video, video, audio. Like I might change back and forth, but YouTube does not stop that experience just because I've changed the format. So it's always kind of been primed to be in that podcasting space, which is morphing from just audio to audio and video. I think YouTube is actually a key player in allowing people to consume it both ways in the same episode if it's created that way, right? So it's a lot of potential.
The hybrid cast. Ooh, that's even better, because you're right. You can start it. I do it all the time. I will have, somebody that I'm listening to in their podcast, and I normally listen to the video episodes, and I'll pick, Twit, because I'm always there, right? I'll have Mac Break Weekly on, and I'm not sitting at the TV watching Leo and Andy and Jason go on. First of all, I've known those guys for all 20 plus years. I know exactly what they look like. Number two, none of them are handsome as me. So I can still get the information, but I don't need to watch them. But I have them on because, as weird as this sound, and I'm a big dude, but still they're at home with me. I'm not home by myself. I'm chilling with my homies who I have shared many a beverage and song and karaoke and all the above with. So it's like I'm still cruising with my friends, right? And I think a lot of people do that. That is the vacuuming entertainment, or the mopping entertainment, right? So I would have Tom and Heather on. I'll put Rich Guys on or something, and they're just in the background. They're talking to me while I'm doing whatever the heck I'm doing.
Yeah. And I think that really is where YouTube is positioning itself to be with this move. So, make no mistake. YouTube is in it to completely own this space. They are a huge player. They are owned by Google, which is, if not the biggest player, certainly within the top 3 out there of just companies. And they see the potential. We've been saying from the start of this podcast that, there's a huge market. Podcasting is a huge, huge, huge market. So they are certainly aware that people are consuming content in different ways, are going to YouTube to search for their favorite podcast. Discoverability of podcasts has been a big deal on YouTube. So even if people weren't listening to podcasts there, that was where they were finding podcasts, or that was where they were, spending time discovering them. So, I think it's a space where it was a natural next step for them, and they are going to do what they do best, which is defining and redefining the space. They are an innovator. So they are going to take podcasts into the YouTube space, and then they're going to redefine what that means for people within the YouTube ecosystem and push it back out so that we all are forced to make those changes. And I do want to say, because I saw the comment come by, so folks listening, I wanted to correct myself. I was going to correct myself that you do currently have to have YouTube Premium in order to have that experience where it goes back and forth between audio and video. But I do really think that is, again, YouTube spending this time to see what the level of interest is and how people are responding to this as a potential overall experience within their ecosystem. I'm willing to bet that is going to shift and change as they grow out YouTube podcasts. So this is a brand new thing for them. The concept of there being a YouTube podcast is new. This year, Doc's been talking about it for forever, but it's new for all of us, and it's still being defined. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Okay, so I want to give a public service announcement. Let's see, I don't often say that something is a must, but I will tell you something is a must. If you are in any way, shape, or form a content absorber, even if you're not in the program to, say, go and make money yet, if you are a content absorber, you should absolutely, positively, hands down, be on YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
It is a massive game changer. Now, I know some people are going to have a conniption fit because it just went from $17.99 to $22.99. So it went from $18 to $23 a month, right? Cancel HBO.
I think that's the family plan too.
Oh yeah, I'm on family plan.
Yeah. So that's not, if you're an individual user, that's for your household. But
I do the family plan because it allows you to get 6 people.
Yeah.
There's 6 people that are supposed to live in your house.
Find a family if you don't have 6 people in the house.
Right. That's just saying 6 people are supposed to live in your house. So the reason why I say this is it's not just about the missing the ads. That's not exactly the only reason. One thing to know, first of all, if you're a student, you can get a discount. So do that. There is so much to be learned on YouTube. There's so much comforting information, and there's so much studying positive. There's all these audiobooks. There's so much stuff on YouTube that it's kind of an adult play. Like, you should sort of be there. And I know, there's other things. Well, I need to do money on this. I need to spend money on this. I'm sorry. YouTube University is one of the greatest things since sliced bread. So if you have to steal from Peter and, get rid of Paul, not Duncan, but the other Paul, and be on YouTube Premium. That is the one thing that I would tell everybody you have to. I've told my friends, like, look, man, it's so important. I will buy it for your kid, because having your kid sit through all these advertisements. Here's the funny thing. Now, I'm going to say this, and I don't have any, so, okay, this is just uncle speaking. My friend says, you know what? My kid absorbs so much YouTube, and it's not the YouTube that bothers me. It's all of the ads that come out. The ads are so targeted towards kids and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, did you know for $12 you can make that go away?
I know. And your kids, like my kids, it is the number one thing that they are consuming as far as media goes. So like they are spending more time learning and watching and interacting with YouTube content than they are playing video games, than they are watching TV or movies with us as a family. Like my kids are like spending time researching, XYZ different. My son loves to go on and learn all of these different things, and they're learning it all through watching and consuming these tutorials or documentaries or new TV stations, really. I mean, YouTube has really become a huge player in entertainment and education. So I agree. I think it's well worth it for my family. But I do think, again, as this feature continues to roll out and YouTube continues, to grow and find its way here in the podcasting space, the having access to premium is going to go a long way for you, both as creators as well as consumers.
Do you use music?
I do. Actually, I am like probably one of the weird exceptions here in the Ecamm office, because I actually live and breathe in the full YouTube system. I use YouTube for like all of the video stuff, everything at home, but I also use YouTube Music, which I adore. I download and save albums. I make playlists. That's like and I spend a lot of time driving. I love driving and I love road trips. Apple Podcasts is still, if I'm listening to audio only podcasts, that's my choice for listening to podcasts. But everything else, music and content wise, is all in YouTube. And again, it's worth it for me because I have Gmail and Google Drive, and like I am in the kind of Google world as far as that goes. It's like me, it's Apple, and then it's Google. So it's bundled together, and that can save you some money that way.
You see, so just saying, people, like I'm not going to say there's a lot of these you have to, but YouTube Premium is a straight up must. I'm sorry, like it's $12 if you don't have the whole family joint. It's $22 if you have the family joint, but find it. Find it, borrow it, steal it, babysit somebody's kid for a half an hour and send them back. Just cover that. Like that one is a game changer. It really, really is. Okay, so the main thing to get away from the first question is that a podcast is whatever. Like it's still undefined. Don't get really caught up in the minutia. As Diana Gladney would say, don't major in a minor on this one. A podcast is whatever you make it. If people are consuming your same content on a regularly scheduled basis, you have a podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pod that's delivered to multi places at one time. There you go. That's what a cast is. Okay. So what's the second question?
What makes YouTube podcasts different from live streaming or posting videos? So you did kind of cover this, but it's worth diving a little deeper. Yeah. So part of it is the RSS, like you said. So part of it is getting out there. And I would say we didn't full circle. We didn't close that loop. So to closing the loop, if podcasts are sent out to multiple places via RSS or it's going out to lots of different places, then YouTube podcasts should be one of the destinations. I would argue the most important destination to make sure that your podcast is going to. And that's okay if it's not going through RSS or one of your podcast hosts to YouTube podcasts. You could do like what we're doing and live stream there first. Yeah.
There's no way to send it through an RSS. Now, Podbean and Buzzsprout, Anchor, a couple other places do have an automatic YouTube uploader. Don't do that. But they do have that. So you can send it from your podcast host to YouTube. Don't do that. But here's the thing, people. Oprah was recorded in front of a live studio audience. And then Oprah was distributed to billions of TVs all around the world. Podcast.
Yes.
The Super Bowl is a live stream. We're going to forget computers exist. We're just going back to the old stream. Okay?
Join us in the 1990s.
I don't want you to get stuck, because people get stuck in verbiage they know the answer to, but they're so busy getting twisted in verbiage that the common sense ain't so common. So let me fix that. The Super Bowl is a live stream. Everybody in the world, about 38 billion people and declining, watch it simultaneously. Live stream. When it is over, you can still watch Oprah later, because back then we record them and they would come in, or our TV station would run out of stuff to play after 11 and they'd repeat the Oprah from the day before. Okay, so CBS has a alternative sports platform down the pipe a little bit. Let's say USA Network, and they'll replay the Super Bowl on one of the cable stations later. So you can watch the Super Bowl after the Super Bowl at your leisure, or you can watch it on demand now. Podcasts. There's no difference between a live stream and a podcast. Your main job is to create content, not to worry about how you created it. How you created it is technically irrelevant for this point. The main thing is you create a video. That video can be in front of a live studio audience of very handsome people like Andy and Rich and Eden. Eden's not handsome. Eden's just Eden.
Eden can be handsome.
I guess girls can be handsome. It's a new world. Hello.
Yeah.
Take it back, Doc. And she likes ice cream. So you can do it in front of a live audience like we do, but you can do it by yourself. The main thing is you create a video and you put it on YouTube. That's the first and most important step. I'll cover the rest of the steps in the next question. But your main goal is to record a video and put it, sorry, I just read Eden say I can be handsome, and record it and report it and put it on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
If you're already creating YouTube content, you have already knocked the first base covered.
I think one of the things that a few people in the chat are saying, which has been on my mind as well, is that because this is a new frontier for YouTube, right, what we need to do right now is to continue doing what we do best, which is we understand YouTube probably better than a lot of people who are in the audio only podcasting space, right? So don't trust right now, at least, those other tools that are just going to auto upload to YouTube in the same way that they send out podcast audio everywhere else, because it is a different medium, right? Video is a different medium. You want to input the information into YouTube with all of your keyword rich description and title and your hashtags and your thumbnail and all of that information correctly, according to YouTube standards. That may change down the road as YouTube continues to evolve. It might be that YouTube, we can send the RSS feed also to YouTube, and they make it so that they can pick up all of the correct information. That may mean that, YouTube has a completely separate website or app or whatever that is podcast. All of that stuff's going to evolve. So right now, and Doc said this brilliantly while we were researching and discussing this topic initially, but this is the new frontier. And what we need to do is build your store, right? Build it now, build it as if it is a podcast, and then you can just make tweaks or edits later, but build it right and build it on YouTube, because they are going to spend the time and the money and all of the investments to own this space. They are YouTube, and that is what they want to do. So don't ignore it and don't be like, oh, well, it's different, so I'm just going to phone it in. Start here and then phone in the rest of the stuff if you have to phone something in. But don't phone in this part, right? Don't phone in this part, because this part's the one that matters the most. This is where the money is. This is where the people are.
Yes, I think that is a key element, because it is real easy to want to just
automate
it, press a button and, call it there. So let's get to the last thing so that I can stress some of the key elements.
Yeah. How can people make sure that they're included in YouTube podcasts?
Okay, super simple. Do your video. YouTube will handle the rest. But let's cover some key points. A lot of this people know, but I'm going to reiterate it because it's important to reiterate. The number one reason why you should be putting your video on YouTube, even if it's a podcast, and not, a vlog or a tutorial video or something like that. It is the second largest search engine in the world. Yes, everybody understand that. Most people know that. If you don't, hey, welcome to 2020.
Second to only itself.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. Exactly. Here's the key element. There are 2.6 billion monthly active users. Spotify, not even close. Apple Music, Apple, the big daddy, not even close. Freaking close. 2.6 billion monthly active logged in users. And
I know.
Growing.
Why would you not want to be there? If you start there, it's easier to check off all the boxes correctly everywhere else. So I just finished up a presentation for an upcoming event that I'm doing, in which I am trying to convince people to start with YouTube Live and then disseminate out from there. But I really do believe it. It's so much easier. The most important, and I guess the hardest, although it's not overly difficult, is YouTube. Once you've mastered that, everything else is super easy. Everything else is I don't need a thumbnail. Oh, I don't need to put in as detailed a description. You've done all of the work by doing the live stream and the initial content out on YouTube. Everything else is an echo of that to a much smaller audience. So sorry, I'll get down off my soapbox, but that is a soapbox that I've been on for this year. So
No, and it's cool, right? So, like, I just put in that according to the statistics, as of quarter 2, right, which would have ended in June. Wait, January, May, June. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was like, yes.
I had to double check.
Math.
Thank you. Business school was a long time ago.
It was.
Anyway, as of quarter 2, Spotify has 433 million active users. Do you know how many 433s you can fit in 2.6 billion? Okay, just understand that you can fit 4.5 Spotify's in YouTube. All right, so just Spotify's the second biggest. So just get that out of your nugget. Okay, what Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Spotify lack, of course, all the other smaller guys are absolutely smaller. They all lack what is known as a suggested algorithm. You know, Al, that friend of ours, YouTube will say, you are starting a podcast. You have been using verbiage and words in your thing because we close caption your videos automatically if you don't put your own captions descript as you should. And you said video podcast 15 times. You must need to see the flow. And the next thing you know, in the side of your thing, there's a picture of me and Case like, so, hello, the suggested algorithm. Nobody else says if you're listening to this, you should be listening to that. The other guys try, but their algorithms are broken.
Yeah.
YouTube's algorithm is highly fleshed out, regardless of the whiny BA creators who say that they don't get seen. Okay?
Yeah.
I'll let you figure out what the BA is. Now, the only thing you need to do is put your content like you put your content. That is highly important. Just record your video and put it there. Here's where you get seen. Choose your titles wisely.
Yep.
Okay? We kind of do a bad job at this, but we're doing it for style. If it was up to me, YouTube content creation coach, we wouldn't do it that way. But I like the style of it because Caleb needs things to look a certain way. Caleb is fashionable. My title would be why you should be doing video podcasts in 2022. My titles would be want to start a video podcast? Here's 10 easy steps. Our titles are The Flow episode 6, YouTube video podcast, like that. Like, don't make titles like us. Do not copy us. Our titles suck. And it's because I'm not in charge of it. Okay. So choose your titles in a manner that sparks interest. Basically, study some copywriting and learn how to rank titles. That's important. The other thing, get your nails did. We got dope thumbnails. Okay. Make your thumbnails presentable. Like Andy said, Andy's here. Andy's been smart today. Hey, Andy. If you said, hey, Buzzsprout, just take my thing and it's just going to take your podcast artwork and it's going to make it the thumbnail. That's not the same. If you see what boxes look like in Costco, they don't look the same as the boxes in regular stores. They package differently. Why? Because Costco is going to be stuffed in a barrel somewhere. In a regular store, it needs to be presentable. So they package it differently. When you buy this hard drive right here from Amazon, it comes in plastic wrap. When you get it in the Apple Store, it comes in a lovely, elegant, always white, always able to stand up by itself box. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to present it for the medium. So get your nails did. If you do not know how, watch some tutorials. I know some people who make great tutorials on how to do thumbnails.
There's thousands of them out there, and you can find them all on YouTube. Or hire somebody.
And then use something like vidIQ or TubeBuddy to help you get seen. Your main thing is to operate back to step number 1, which is the second largest search engine in the planet. So those are the important things. If you do all of those things, YouTube will automatically put it there. Now, it is still of my opinion that there will be a mechanism coming up soon where you're going to tag it a certain way or check a certain box, which will guarantee it goes into the podcast space. Right now, if you behave like a podcast, YouTube knows that. They are smart. They're watching you. right? If you let Anna tell it, they're watching everything you do.
Yeah.
But they know, they just know, because if you walk like a duck, talk like a duck, it's a duck. So if you act like a podcaster, it's a podcast. That's simple.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I will say there are so many cool features that exist on YouTube that the kind of the more you watch and consume and the more you educate yourself on what's possible, it's pretty amazing. You know, at Ecamm, for example, our upcoming live videos, which we have scheduled out, we can link them together. So YouTube has within its presets the idea of customization where I can go in, I can add a trailer video to the beginning of all of my live streams. While people are waiting, they can watch a trailer, which is free marketing for you. You can throw a trailer in front of it. You can say, you know, the second that this episode of The Flow stops, show them my next live video so that they know exactly what. You can do a lot of those kinds of things, but those all exist within the YouTube settings. So if you're trying to automate and you're not taking the time, you're missing all of those amazing things that make that experience better for people that are in that platform. I want to say it was Pat Flynn, who I shout out all the time, I feel like these days, but I think it was Pat who said, you need to stop sending people off of YouTube. So we have this habit of saying like, subscribe to my channel and then like go back to my website, go back to my, Facebook group, go back to here, whatever. All you want on YouTube is for them to watch the next video. If you keep them watching your next video, YouTube loves you. You rank better. You get more people seeing your stuff. And also, they know you. They're building a relationship with you. They are listening to what you're saying. You're in their mind. They're spending all of that time with you. They'll find your website when they need to buy your service or product. You're talking with them all the time. They're watching your next video. They don't need for you to send them over there with a link. They don't need that. They need for you to spend time in front of them. And to do that, you need to get them to watch your next video. So there's lots of opportunity if you dive deep and spend time understanding how YouTube works as a platform. And then, like Doc said, the podcasting side of it is just gravy on top because it just gives you one other place where your content gets a chance to surface. So
100%. I love the fact that, first of all, you remember that because I think even I forget sometimes. I think we all forget that.
Oh, I'm constantly updating. I'm like, oh, shoot, I gotta do this differently. Yeah.
It is really bad to send people off the platform when you're on the platform. So
yeah.
I kind of want to, normally we save our Q&As to the end. And I always tell everybody who's listening to this, if you're listening, you kind of want to be in a live studio audience because every once in a while, somebody named Julie Gayhart will ask a really dope question that deserves to be in the episode. So I will forget the fact that we do Q&A at the end, and I'm going to cover this. Now, for the video people watching, Luis isn't going to have a dope slide that says Julie had this question, but I'm going to say question from our flow rider, Julie Gayhart says, is there a time for this from YouTube? Julie, please do not get upset. This is a doc answer all day long. Doesn't matter. If they do it tomorrow, dope. If they do it 10 years from now, dope. It really doesn't matter because the effect will be exactly the same. I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to mention the person's name, but there is a very famous podcaster who has done podcasts on YouTube for going on close to 5 years when no one had a mechanism for doing podcasts on YouTube's. And the person saw so many success that another podcasting company bought them for a pornographic amount of money. You don't need to have somebody put a billboard on your video that says this is a podcast in order for it to be effective. There is an old proverb that I will convert. I won't say it in Japanese. But just because the message may not be received doesn't mean the message is not worth sending. Send your content anyway. YouTube will do with it what they need to. And they're smart enough that if it's powerful enough, they will make sure that all 2.6 billion people today see it. If not, they'll give you 26 people. But hey, that's on you now, right? The ball is in your court. So not to give a wise ass answer, that is legitimately the answer. It doesn't matter whether YouTube flips it today or tomorrow or the next day. Just be ready. No one knows. They're not going to tell us. We don't tell you when Ecamm 4.0 is coming out. Here's the funny thing. Ken and Glenn know, Katie and I don't. We yell at them every day, can you please give us a date? We're marketing. We got to make fancy graphics, and Doc has to make tutorials. And, Ken goes, yeah. And they just
when it's ready. When it's ready is the answer, right? So I mean, same for YouTube. When it's ready, they'll roll it out. Yeah. I think we're all going to miss it if we're not in the right space. If we're over focused on something else and they roll it out, then we've got to hustle and jump on over and spend way more time and effort versus if you're already there and ready to go, maybe a couple tweaks to some keywords and things, but they'll be off and running. You won't have to worry about having to build something from scratch if you're already there. And worst case, they decide, which they're not going to do, but they could absolutely say, hey, you know what? We're not going to do podcasts. We're closing that entire thing down. Worst case, you still have an amazing YouTube channel with tons of people who are just watching it as YouTube and videos and it's not part of a larger podcasting space. You're not losing for having the content there. There's no downside to it.
Yeah, it is one of those things that I think we all want to know because, what we'll do is we'll get caught up trying to get ready. Just be ready. Like it's an old thing that I heard long time ago from Zig Ziglar. And I actually, strangely enough, I don't even realize I just did this. I posted what do you call those things? An Instagram reel.
Instagram reel, yeah.
A couple of days ago. And it was basically, don't let your life pass by trying to have a better life. You know what I'm saying? So many people are so busy trying to have a better life and doing all of these things to have a better life, but they're letting the life pass them by. And I know this because of my dad. My dad was so busy trying to get everything ready to have this most dope retirement, and he did all the work and busted his okole and worked himself to death and never took that second part because it was so busy getting ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't work so hard for everything to be perfect to the point where you're missing the journey.
Yeah.
All of the dope stuff is in the journey, right? Like, driving back from Albany wasn't about like how we're going to turn this way or that way. We just said, take us there, map. And then we listened to John Mulaney and laughed our A's off for 3 hours. It was pretty funny. And we had a great conversation. And the drive back from Albany with Katie was dope. It was partially a ride back with my boss. We talked a little bit about work, and a ride back with my friend where we just cracked up and told stories and enjoyed each other's company for that time frame. That was the memorable part. It wasn't the fact that we took highway this and then highway that and then get on the Mass Pike. I think that's what it's called. And I don't even freaking know because I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to Katie. It's called Mass Pike, right?
I think so. I don't even know. I'm like, I don't know. Google Maps. Google Maps took us there. I was listening to John Mulaney.
Yeah, so enjoy the journey, fam. Please enjoy the journey because this is so dope. And we have the benefit of just doing something amazing right now. So I just want to leave all of our listeners and our live studio audience with that. Just enjoy the content creation part.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't say anything different. That's an awesome place to end.
Okay, I did have one last thing to tell people, but it's super small. If you want to get on to Spotify video, you have to upload it through Anchor.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. You don't have to move your podcast to Anchor. If you're on Anchor, cool, stay there. But if you want to put your video there, you can just upload the video section. So you upload it twice, once to YouTube, once to Anchor. And that's fine. And Jared or somebody would have to correct me. I don't think you have to pay to upload video there. I think that's still considered part of their free thing. I am not sure. That is a Eileen and the Jared question, but I will find an info and drop it in the show notes somewhere.
Yeah, and I think we have not yet done that. So we're certainly prioritizing YouTube over Spotify video at the moment, but we'll figure it out and we'll try it so that you know how to do it as well. But it was a good point that came up. I think I was chatting with the Ecamm Live Academy and talking about that, and that came up as a point that someone raised. So yeah, it's a good one.
And the last pro tip I'm going to save for the live studio audience. So Jared says it's free. See, I answered that question in the show notes. See, this is why you do a live audience, because Jared is here. Jared is here.
With our live team of researchers actively researching as we talk.
We're a big old podcast. We got a live team of researchers. and our San Diego office just chimed in. So, yeah, I will save the last point for the live studio audience because this is what's called the tease that make you come to the live studio audience, and this is going to be the one that actually is the home run hitter. So if you want to be a part of it, why did I snort? If you want to be a part of it, make sure you come every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We are here live on the YouTube channel recording it, so please be here. You can find us at flow.ecamm.com. You can also send us questions via flow@ecamm.com. And you can drop those questions in the volley at ecamm.tv/flowvolley. A kind of important thing to know is this show and every show is sponsored by Speedify. Now, we've been discovering so many cool things that you can do with Speedify. And we had a question that came up today, and this was from somebody named Mr. Camera Junkie.
We don't know him. Never heard of him.
Never heard of the guy. He had a question about how Speedify does bonding. Bonding is this really incredible terminology that means I can take my hardwired connection from my Spectrum, and I can take this phone, which is connected to AT&T, and my other phone, which is connected to Mint, and I can merge all of those connections together using Speedify to give me a different connection. So let's just say I look at my phone, and my phone says that I'm pulling down 20 megabits per second download, and my other phone says it's pulling down 50. Okay, that's 70 between the two phones. And then my Spectrum is pulling down 500. I can actually, with Speedify, connect all of that together and get close to 570. So now I'm able to enhance. So not only can you use it as a fallover, as an emergency, if something should drop, you can actually use it to stick a bunch of connectors together to make a Voltron, or make a Voltron. You can make a Voltron connection. Where this comes in handy is in things like hotel. So when we're all cruising around in San Diego and we're at the convention center, we wanted to do a stream, and the stream wasn't working or whatever, we could actually take a bunch of phones and connect them together to make a single dope connection. And that's the kind of stuff that you can do with Speedify. So make sure you go to speedify.com and check it out. And we have a special perk. If you are an Ecamm Fam member, you can ask any of our moderators or Paul Duncan, or you can send us an email and we'll tell you how to get even a discount using the Ecamm Fam perk. But you don't need one because it's like super, super cheap. As a matter of fact, it should be 3x more expensive. So thank you, Speedify, for supporting the flow. That's called the live read, people.
These live reads are probably like some of my most favorite. I feel like I learn something new about Speedify every time that you do it.
I'm telling you, it is a wonderful thing. All right, gang. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of The Flow. And now we will dip into Q&A. We'll see you guys next week. Aloha.
See you next week. Bye.